Alright then, just taking a quick look at Solana on our daily time frame for another daily update. Before we begin, please do go down below and sign up to BITUNIX. They're giving you a 30% bonus if you deposit and trade on their platform. If you deposit $1,000 and trade to receive a $300 bonus instantly, it's going to be really, really good because you're going to be able to trade some of these markets that are looking pretty spicy at the minute. And I really do appreciate you supporting me as well through that affiliate link. So do go down below and get involved in that. We're taking a look at Solana then, as we can see, forming a little bit of bearish market structure recently, although looking like it is starting to bounce. Potentially have a nice little fair value gap here, as you can see. Nice little daily fair value gap here. The last fair value gap in this previous leg, as you can see. Looking like we were coming down, looking for a bit of support. Solana recently, overall, as you can see, has been just grinding to the upside. Pretty indomitably, to be honest. Recently having a little bit of chop here and a little bit of concern. Struggling to get back up towards that full previous all-time high area. In fact, we did hit our previous all-time high here, didn't we? Oh no, I've just accidentally ripped my Fibonacci completely out of where it should be. I do this all the time, honestly. It's ridiculous. I should just lock this in place so that I can't do this, because honestly, I'm always just moving my Fibonacci's around and then forgetting. But overall, you can see the all-time high of $260, previous all-time high. We got fairly close to it. As you can see on the charts here, we pretty much almost touched it and then started rejecting. But basically, we were just moving back down because Bitcoin, as always, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumping off the back of Trump talking about 100% tariffs for China, causing that huge liquidation cascade that we saw across the market, as you can see. A lot of cryptos right now in a bit of no man's land trying to figure out where to go next, largely just because of Bitcoin here, as you can see. And as a result, Solana has basically put itself in a little bit of a weird spot as well. Although I would argue it is bouncing much better than most cryptos. Currently stuck between two fair value gaps, bouncing and rejecting nicely out of this lower fair value gap here, which never got readdressed. Coming down, sweeping liquidity out below all these levels here. The more liquidity that you sweep out to the downside as well, the more chance of a bounce. Because obviously, the market wants to go address those inefficiencies and then reverse and wreck retail traders, as it does so often. You could see all the people down here with their stop losses have just all been wrecked, and then we got that immediate reversal. Solana comes down again, in line with Bitcoin also coming down, but actually looking stronger than Bitcoin in many ways here, because if you have a look, you could see Bitcoin came down, made a new swing low, whereas Solana actually didn't come down, make a new swing low. People start piling in again in this area. And obviously right now we're in and around that $200 psychological level. Solana here looking like it's just consolidating and waiting to see which direction Bitcoin goes next. You can see we're just stuck between, as I said, these two big fair value gaps. We've got this huge daily above, which we've been rejecting out of here, which we really need to break. And you can see, interestingly enough, before we even had this drop, we actually had this retrace for Solana. And you can see here, this big daily fair value gap. Look how many times we rejected this. 5 days of rejecting this level. People starting to sell off and get into shorts in this area. And they were correct. You can see they came down. If they had targeted this fair value gap below, this would have been a really great trade. On the break back down below this fair value gap, you can see you could have taken a trade like this. This could have banked you a nice 2.5 R or something like that if you were that kind of trader. I don't short in bull markets ever, because I just think the bias is always bullish until proven otherwise, and I don't want to go against the overall bias. But here you can see Solana obviously came down very obviously. Once you see this big momentum to the downside, you're always going to come and find an inefficiency down here to come and bounce out of. That's what we did. And now Solana just caught between these two fair value gaps here and here. And we're just going to wait and see which direction we break in. I would argue with Bitcoin potentially looking bullish here. You can see Bitcoin actually bouncing really nicely out of its own fair value gap below. And you can see potentially we could break above this daily fair value gap here as well. I think if we close above this, we're going to be in good shape to go back up towards this fair value gap above, which also happens to be a BPR, which is just two fair value gaps stacked on top of each other in a row. Very, very difficult to break these in general. This is going to be a very exceptionally difficult area to break, in my opinion. But right now, in the short term here, looking like we could be breaking bullish for Bitcoin, which would obviously be good for Solana as well. I think if Bitcoin comes and closes above this fair value gap today, and starts to work its way back up towards this 50% area up here, I think we're going to be in good shape for Solana having a bounce as well in the rest of the market. But right now, nothing else to talk about apart from the fact that we're just waiting to see whether or not Bitcoin is going to have a good day or a bad day today. Mondays are always critical for deciding which direction we're going in that particular week for Bitcoin, and that will affect Solana as well. Right now, Solana looking like it's just come back into a good area of value. People are going to start getting back in as we drop lower, as you know. Still in a bull market here, and people are still targeting up towards new all-time highs. Overall, Solana has been really strong in this cycle. really we haven't seen any major drops. Even this drop that we saw from $300 down to $100 didn't phase me at all, really, because the market structure is just so bullish for Solana. Right now, we're just going to chill and wait and see what Bitcoin does today. As always, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. Check back every day for daily updates and get some free money in the description below. Cheers.